Good afternoon, everyone. Before I start, I would like to send my sincere condolences to the entire Horan family. My name is Tiesha Mercer. This is Gavin Hayes and Tim Eastep, and we all had the honor of going through the 103rd Academy with Horan. Before I get started, Horan would want me to tell Gavin, unlock your knees, and Tim, stop flexing. It's hard to believe, but when we first met, Horan and I didn't exactly see eye to eye. Horan treated the academy like it was boot camp, and I thought to myself, who is this old guy? Someone tell him we're not signing up for the military, but don't let that gray hair fool you. Despite his age, he outworked most of us during PT. He helped everyone who needed it, always pushing us to do better. Looking back now, I realized that his tough love approach was just his way of preparing us for challenges we would face in our careers. Battles we never knew were coming. After graduation, fate put us together on the same squad, District 2 D Squad. Not only were we on the same squad, we became zone partners as well. Just my luck. I was paired with the old guy. We started out as rookies on 4th shift, but quickly became the veterans of the squad, along with Katie and Gavin. We coined ourselves the OGs. A squad full of misfits for sure. However, we became an unbreakable family. As a squad mate, we respected Horan so much, and he taught us all something at some point that we could carry with us to the next call, whether we asked him to or not. Horan was our unofficial supervisor, at least he tried to be. But me, Gavin, and Katie wouldn't allow him to be and would frequently yell at him to watch who he was talking to. Not many people could do that to him, but he would listen to us, apologize, and say, I just want you guys to be great because you're my people. Horan and I formed an incredibly close bond. He called me his work wife, and he became my work husband. Don't worry, guys, Courtney's aware of the title. Being zone partners, we shared not just the job, but the ups and downs of life. Horan always seemed to know when I needed to vent about something that was going on in my life, and vice versa. He could read me like a book. All he needed to see me do, and everyone knows this, was patting my head. And he knew that was when I was fed up, and it was time to go hands-on with whoever we were dealing with. Funny because he never gave me a warning like patting his head. I'd look up and we'd be on the ground wrestling on yet another call. There was something that we called the D2 sniper. It wasn't an actual sniper, but it referred to those moments when someone would mysteriously fall without anyone touching them. Somehow I was always the frequent flyer in that category. I remember this one time we were chasing a subject and I tripped up the hill, only to roll right back down into a puddle of muddy water. Horan, with that silly smirk on his face, stood over me and asked, "Are you okay?" The moment I said yes, he burst out laughing. But true to his nature, he made sure I was all right before he left me to handle the call, never letting me forget that incident though. Horan was always proactive and always getting into something. There's one memory that stands out vividly. One night I was in, then at the time, Sergeant McFadder's office when Horan shouted over the radio that he was in a vehicle pursuit. Without hesitation, McFadder and I bolted for the door to help him. I tried to burst through the door without actually opening and ended up face planting right into the glass, with McFadder crashing right behind me. When we reached Horan, we found out that the pursuit he was in was actually more like a grandma on a Sunday morning drive, moving at a slow 10 to 15 miles per hour. I still tease him about that, saying I nearly cut my face up running through a glass door for you, Horan. And he would just laugh that silly laugh and say, I would have done the same for you. Horan was the epitome of what it meant to be a partner and a squad mate. I always knew he had my back, as well as everyone else's. In the heat of every call, I could count on looking up and seeing him right there beside me, ready to go to work. I'll miss you, buddy. You were my protector for so many years, and I will forever love you for that. During football season, we always shared our friendly rivalry. He was a Giants fan, and I'm a Cowboys fan. So in his honor, I must say this one last time. How about them Cowboys? Take your rest, Horan. I may be broken right now, but I find peace knowing that you will forever be my guardian angel. Thank you for everything. Thank you.